So IR jarugutundi kada. So there are like international related issues also there. There are so many articles today. Okay. So I'll try to cover everything. Maybe brief you on each and every article. But whenever you get time, anyway you are అమ్మట్లేదు కదా న్యూస్ పేపర్లో తీసుకుపోయి keep it and whenever you get time, just open a newspaper randomly, just read an article. It would be great if you can underline something, because it's not time for you to write down everything. It's not time for note making, okay? Because it takes lot of time and effort. Okay? Chalo, let's see. Petitioners question the presumption of constitutionality of Waqf Act in Supreme Court. How many of you, like, we had like full-fledged Waqf discussion on a weekend current affairs class? I think it's not for you guys. Okay. So at that time, like, we have discussed everything about the Waqf. Okay. So I'll try to share the PDF with you. So many states have like questioned the same in the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court is listening to the arguments. The other parties' arguments are done. The counter arguments has to be done by the government. That is happening with respect to the, you may know, like in Waqf boards, non-Muslim members included. How many of you knew this thing? There are like Waqf boards in that, like, other than Muslim, like Hindus and Christians, it's like other than Muslim persons are like included in the Waqf board, because Waqf is actually a religious institution, right? In religious institutions, we can't expect other community, like other religious persons, to be there in the Waqf board. That is also questioned. And the second thing is ki Waqf by user clause. Waqf by user. User in the sense, like, Waqf is like someone who is like giving their land for school, maybe for a college, maybe a madrasa, maybe a hospital. It's a donation towards the charitable thing. So you are given, but it is not like you have completely given it. You may thought like it is for a temporary purpose, but they used it for a longer period of time, that they'll assume it's a Waqf property. That is called a Waqf by user. Okay. So now we have like government is removed this clause. You have used it for a long period of time. That does not mean you own that land. So you have to give it back to the owner. These are like 2 to 3 things that are there in this particular thing. So that's why the Supreme Court arguments are happening. Just go through the articles. Okay. With respect to fundamental rights, freedom of religion will be questioned because involvement of others. And wherever some arguments are happening, wherever some issues are happening, so that will be solved by a government officer. Who? Government officer, not any particular body or judiciary. So government officer in the sense, whoever is there in the government, you have to obey to that particular government. So this is also questioned. Okay. Just go through the articles. That will be enough. Second thing, KCR, Harish Rao, Eatala get summons from Ghose panel. So Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghose Commission is formed to inquire about the Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project. Okay. So Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project was like world's largest multi-stage like lift irrigation project. Once, not now anyways. So a commission is formed just to check the irregularities with respect to the finance and the construction part. Okay. There may be a chance ki, because we are under Congress, if any exam comes, there may be a chance ki whose commission was there to look into the Kaleshwaram thing. So just Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project on which river? Godavari, Bhopalapalli district. Okay. Okay, done. You know this, right? Diplomatic outreach visits begin today. So on this Operation Sindoor, we are like the selected MPs from the government are like reaching out to the other countries, and they are explaining about the counter-terrorism activities that were like state-sponsored terrorism activities that were happening over a long period of time on India to destabilize India. So we are trying to go to other countries and explain them. We are explaining to the government, we are explaining to the academicians and whoever it is possible. Okay. So that is what that is happening today. And second page, Niloufer launches AI-based non-invasive blood tool test. How many of you know about Niloufer? Niloufer? Cafe. Chalo, cafe only. There is a Niloufer Hospital which is very famous. No, not a hospital. Cancer hospital. Government owned only. So, AI based non-invasive blood test tool. Ante blood తీయకుండానే blood test చేస్తదంట. That is the thing, okay? So, the name is Amrut Swasth Bharat, an artificial intelligence based diagnostic tool for non-invasive blood testing that delivers result in under a minute. It is developed by Quick Vitals, whatever. The used technology, advanced AI and deep learning algorithms through remote blah blah blah. Okay, it will give result in 20 to 60 seconds. Who developed it? Quick Vitals. The name is Amrut Swasth Bharat. It is used like AI and deep learning algorithms thing. Okay, that is enough. Next comes page number 4. RTA zones likely to be integrated with Sarathi Portal in a month. Sarathi dashboard comes under the Ministry of Transport, Government of India. Okay, it's a dashboard where you can it will give you like customer centric support key renewals, like if you want to renew your driving license you can do, and then address change, like so many other things, like we need to visit to the RTA offices so many times to do all these tasks. Even I visited like 5 times to get my license done. Okay, now we are like trying to reduce that number of visits so that it can happen only a single visit. That's why the Sarathi Portal came in. So Sarathi Portal now integrated with the local, like whatever the RTA, RTO offices are there. So it is linked with the Telangana RTA offices, and the same happens with all states as well, so that we can reduce the number of visits to the RTA offices. Okay, Sarathi Portal is important. It comes under Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Government of India. Okay, so there is one more key, Sarathi and Vahan. There are 2 portals. Vahan portal is to register our vehicles, okay, which were developed by the National Informatics Center, NIC. Okay, okay, fine. And then comes 6th page. Government extends marriage incentive scheme for people with disabilities. Marriage incentive scheme for people with disabilities. So till now, in a couple, if one person is having the disability, they will be getting like 1 lakh rupees. Now, even one person, if not like 2 person, like whatever, either this or that, both will get the 1 lakh marriage incentive scheme from the Telangana government. Initially, one person used to have that particular disability. Now, even iddariki unna kuda, they will be getting this amount. So, how many are from AP? Okay. Next, ration supply at doorstep for elderly in AP from June 1st, says Minister. Elderly in the sense like people who is like more than 65 years of age, and maybe people with disabilities. There are like vehicles, right, in AP under Jagan government. There are like 9,000 vehicles purchased to distribute these ration at the doorsteps. There are like 29 or 30,000 ration shops are there. For 30,000 ration shop, they purchase 9,000 vehicles. So now they are trying to reduce that burden just by supplying only to the elderly and the disabilities people. Okay, we'll come to the editorial last. So page number 10. So petitions question, Waqf Act, Constitutionality, we have already discussed. Just go through it one by one. Okay, and after a gap of 2 years, Shirui Lily Festival begins on thorny note in Manipur. So what happened is that there is some ethnic clashes that were happening in Manipur with respect to Methi people and Kukizo, with respect to internal security, and you may get it in IR as well. So because of that ethnic clashes, the festival were not happening from the last like 2 years. So now it started. What is the name of the festival? Shirui Lily Festival. Just remember this, okay? And then comes SC makes 3 years legal practice mandatory to apply for judicial service. So there is an exam. If you pass that exam, you will be a civil judge. So we'll directly sit in the judge's chair and give judgments without any practice. So because of that, some issues will happen, right? Without any practice, even medical people also, like MBBS people also, they have to serve. And then if you become an IAS, IPS officer also, you have to do some on-ground work. Then only you will be given the cadre. The same way, judiciary also planning to do the same. So everyone who will become a civil judge has to have that on-ground experience of how many years? 3 years. So that you can do whatever you want, like after becoming the judge, have that experience and come into the service. Next comes Justice Somsekhar appointed Manipur High Court Chief Justice. Who will appoint a Chief Justice of High Court? On the recommendation of Collegium. Collegium consists of CJI plus 2. Who are these 2? Okay. Okay, that is done. So the point is this: Collegium will give this appointment thing to the government. Government send the letter to the president. So president will appoint the High Court Chief Justice. Okay. Somsekhar ekkadi nunchi vachadam manaku avasaram ledu, but the process is important. And next, IB chief gets 1 year extension in service. IB in the sense? So because of this Operation Sindoor and the on-ground issues, like it is the second time that we are extending the service of the Intelligence Bureau officer. Who will extend this? The Appointments Committee of the Cabinet. Okay? IB chief name enti? Tapan Kumar. Okay? Fine, right? Okay. Next, page number 11. Facing and sit probe. Vijay Shah skips key MP cabinet meet. We have nothing to do with what is happening with SIT, Madhya Pradesh and all. But there is a point. What is that point? The 300th birth anniversary celebrations of the 18th century ruler Ahalya Bai Holkar of the Holkar dynasty. 300th birth anniversary that we are celebrating. She is a pioneer of temples in Madhya Pradesh. Just go through the details, okay? Next, BSF to resume public retreat ceremony on Punjab border. So we stopped it, right? Atta Wagari border lo manam ee retreat ceremony ni aapesamu. So we are like about to start that particular thing, but we are not shaking hand with the BSF counterparts. Who are those counterparts? Name enti? So there is a counterpart, like if we have like Chief of Defence Staff, Pakistan is also having a Chief of Defence Staff. Who are like counterparts of this BSF? BSF full form enti? They are like guarding our borders, okay? Not army, BSF. So who are like counterparts of BSF? ISI the intelligence service. Pakistani Rangers. Okay? Next, page number 12. India will be emerging as a world's top potato producer by 2050. Now we are on second. First is China with respect to the potato. So by 2050, we will be becoming the first producer, largest producer in the world. Okay. So there is a particular organization for the international center for this potato. The name is Peru-based International Potato Center. International Potato Center ekkadundi? Peru lo undi. So they will be doing all this stuff with respect to the potato. Okay, now China is on top, India second, followed by Ukraine, Russia, US and all. So we will be coming on top by 2050 by producing 100 million tons of potato. Okay. Next, Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train project hits milestone. So how many of you know about this project? bullet train project, Mumbai-Ahmedabad. It is completely a Make in India project, but we are like help of Japanese technology. Okay, we are using Japanese technology, but like everything is indigenously made. So who is that particular organization that is working on this bullet train? National High Speed Rail Corporation Limited, and of course under Ministry of Railways, but there is a separate body. If you see metro, there is a separate body for this metro, Hyderabad metro. Same way, the high speed metro rails, there is a separate body altogether, National High Speed Rail Corporation Limited, of course, which comes under Ministry of Railways. The organization's names are like important. Next comes WHO adopts pandemic agreement to strengthen global health preparedness. So after COVID, there's an importance to come up with a world level thing so that everyone will be on the same page. So that's why they came up with this world's first pandemic agreement. It is like agreed by 124 in favor. Voting happened, 124 in favor, 0 objections, no one opposed it, but 11 countries like abstained from voting. Okay, this is done. The name of the agreement is World's First Pandemic Agreement from the World Health Organization. టెడ్రోస్ తెలుసు కదా, టెడ్రోస్ అప్పటి నుంచి ఉన్నాడు ఆయన, కోవిడ్ టైం నుంచి. యువర్ ఇన్ యువర్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషనా కోవిడ్ టైంలో? ఓకే. సో నెక్స్ట్ కమ్ దిస్ టూ జెంటిల్మెన్, ఎంఆర్ శ్రీనివాసన్ అండ్ జయంత్ నార్లికర్. So M.R. Srinivasan is like architect of the India's nuclear program. He was working alongside this with Homi J. Baba. Telsa Homi J. Baba? Evaraina? Father of India's nuclear mission ankondi, bomb ankondi, ఆయన నుంచే స్టార్ట్ అయ్యాన్ని. He was like working along with him, and he was worked along with Homi J. Baba on the construction of India's first nuclear research reactor. Name is Apsara, which achieved critically in August 1956. He was worked as the chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission and secretary of the Department of Atomic Energy, which is directly comes under Prime Minister's office. Department of Atomic Energy comes directly under Prime Minister's office. There is no particular ministry for that, okay? And he was the founder chairman of Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, NPCIL. So remember these names, okay? And he was the recipient of Padma Vibhushan in 2015. Next comes this gentleman, Jayant Narlikar. He's an Indian astrophysicist. Physics, astrology, ఇంకా ఏముంటాయి? Okay. So he was Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, IUCAA, which is there in Pune. He was the one who was like pioneer in establishing that particular organization. And he countered this Big Bang theory. How many of you know this Big Bang theory? Everything started from a single point. So he came up with a solution ki the matter evolved over a period of time. It is not, it didn't started from a single point, it evolved over a period of time. It is his arguments. Okay? Right. So he was the recipient of Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan as well. ठीक है. Next comes business. Garment makers hope for better days with carbon imports. So what happened is that after this Operation Sindoor, so we stopped, like we thought of like reducing the bilateral trade with Bangladesh. So initially we used to get it from the land ports, like through land, through ports and all, but now we limited it to only 2 ports. The two ports are, one is like Nhava Sheva and Kolkata port. Nhava Sheva port ante Jawaharlal Nehru port, which is there in Mumbai. So we have like reduced or limited it to only two ports. What happens now? So there are like only two ports to get the garments from the Bangladesh. So now the delivery time will be more, and we need to pay the amount for the ports authorities as well. Import duty we need to pay. Okay, so the price will increase now, the cost will increase. But the point here is ki total textile and apparel exports from India to Bangladesh in 2024 were 3.2 billion. Enta 3.2 billion. India to Bangladesh. And exports from Bangladesh to India were 1.07 billion. Bangladesh to India 1.07 billion. Of course we are on surplus. We exported more than Bangladesh. We are on surplus side. But when compared over a period of from 2015 to 2024, Bangladesh exports to India grew by 12.87, while India's exports to Bangladesh grew by 4.97 only. Ours is only 5% increase, but theirs is like 13% increase. So they are more like on the upper hand. దీన్నే మనం ఎట్లా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం? CGPA అని అంటాం, కాంపౌండెడ్ యాన్యువల్ గ్రోత్ రేట్. దీన్ని బేస్ చేసుకొని మనం ఈ పర్సంటేజెస్ అనేవి క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకుంటాం. ఐఆర్ జరుగుతుంది కాబట్టి బంగ్లాదేశ్ రిలేషన్స్ వచ్చిందా? సో బంగ్లాదేశ్ మీద క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చిందంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఇంక్లూడ్ దిస్ పాయింట్. ఓకే, ఏ కంట్రీతో అయినా సరే వీ హ్యావ్ లైక్ ట్రేడ్ రిలేషన్స్ ఫర్ షూర్. ఎవ్రీ కంట్రీ is interconnected, interrelated with respect to trade, export and import. Somewhere or the other we are doing it. But what happens is ki Bangladesh people, they'll import from China and they'll send that particular things to India. So China is using this indirect link to deal trade with India. So now we are trying to curb that. Okay, right. Next comes world. First one, EU nations agree to roll back all economic sanctions on Syria. There was a civil war happening in Syria. Civil war happened in Syria. So that fellow President Bashar al-Assad, he left the country and he went to Russia to seek asylum. ఏమవుతుంది? గొడవలు పెడతారు, బయటకు వెళ్ళిపోతారు, ఆడున్న చచ్చిపోతారు. వాడు వెళ్ళడానికి ఉంటుంది, జనాలు వెళ్ళడానికి ఉంటుందిగా. నౌ హీ లెఫ్ట్ ద కంట్రీ. సో నౌ ద European Union and other countries started like reducing the economic sanctions so that they'll send the whatever the help that they can do. So they'll do now with Syria. And if you see the next one, Sudan army says, pronounce it. Okay, now we don't need that particular thing. But the point is ki there is a civil war happened between rapid support forces, which are like paramilitary forces of Sudan, and the second thing is Sudanese army. Sudanese army versus rapid support forces. The civil war happened. Now it came to a halt. Okay. Next, Pakistan government promotes army chief Munir to the post of Field Marshal. This is the second time that they are promoting the army. Field Marshal is like highest with respect to the military thing. Okay, this is the second time that they are doing it. Who was the first person to be promoted as the Field Marshal? Ayub Khan. Ayub Khan. So of course Operation Sindoor was like success from our side, failure for the Pakistan army, but still they are celebrating it as a success and promoting him as a Field Marshal. Okay. Sri Lanka relations ainda, India Sri Lanka relations. See, the Sri Lankan president, there is a civil war happened till 2019. Okay, so there is a news with respect to that particular civil war. Just read it. It may help you with respect to the India Sri Lanka relations. We did a lot to Sri Lanka, but they don't remember it. Next comes no decision on Pakistan's participation in Asia Cup. In 2026, there is a hockey Asia Cup is going to happen. ఉన్నారుగా అందరు ఇక్కడే? ఓకే. Hockey India made it very clear ki there is no particular decision taken on Pakistan's participation in the 2026 Asia Cup of Hockey. It depends on the relation. So anyway, the government will give its orders whether we can allow the Pakistans to participate in that particular sport or not. It depends on the government's direction. But the point is, the last point, scholarships. A MOU happened between Hockey India and MIT University online with regards to the, so the point is ki give scholarships to the hockey players so that they can do some more courses, international level courses. This is important. Clear kada? Yes, no? Now come to the editorial. India's new normal deconstructed. How many of you know this Modi's speech? He told ki India will identify, track, punish every terrorist and their backers. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth. He deliberately delivered these particular lines in English because he don't want Pakistan to know. He wanted to give this information to the whole world because it's not the old India. The old India ఏం చేస్తుంది అని అంటే పాకిస్తాన్ వచ్చి మన మీద కొడితే మనం పోయి వేరే అదర్ కంట్రీస్కి వెళ్ళి పాకిస్తాన్ మమ్మల్ని కొడుతుంది చూడండి చూడండి అని చెప్తాం. దట్ ఈజ్ ఓల్డ్ ఇండియా. నౌ వీఆర్ ఇన్ న్యూ ఇండియా. వీఆర్ నాట్ సీకింగ్ ఎనీవన్స్ హెల్ప్ హియర్. వీఆర్ వెరీ మచ్ రెడీ టు డూ లైక్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ కమింగ్ in front of me, so I will also come in front of you. That is simple. Okay, కొడితే ఇంకోటి చూపించడం లేదు, ఇంకా రెండు కొట్టుడే. So this is very important. Just understand the lines. This will really help you. The particular article. India's toolkit consisted of halting dialogue, suspending people-to-people contracts, trying to sensitize the international community of Pakistan's use of terrorism as an instrument of state policy towards India, and its aim to bleed India with 1,000 cuts. ఈ ఒక్క లైన్ పట్టుకొని మనం ప్రతి దగ్గరకు పోయి డిప్లొమాటిక్ రిలేషన్స్ కట్ చేసుకుంటాం, పీపుల్ టు పీపుల్ కాంటాక్ట్స్ కట్ చేస్తాం. బట్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద యూజ్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్? దట్ ఈస్ ఫర్ ఎ టెంపరీ పీరియడ్. యూ హ్యావ్ క్లోజ్డ్ ఆల్ ది ట్రేడ్ డీల్స్ విత్ పాకిస్తాన్, చలో ఓకే. యూ హ్యావ్ లైక్ ఇండస్ వ్యాలీ ట్రీటీని ఆపేసాం, చలో ఓకే. దే ఆర్ లైక్ 15 different things that we took on Pakistan thing. But like how many years you can continue the same? We can't continue the same. Everything is interconnected and interrelated. So it should be like it is a new India. We are not the old ones. So just be వచ్చే ముందు ఒకసారి క్రాస్ చెక్ చేసుకొని రండి. There was a time in Atal Bihari Vajpayee's thing ki US president called him and told ki Pakistan has a nuclear weapon. Chalo, I am ready to lose my half of North India, but tomorrow morning Pakistan won't be there on the world picture. That is his dialogue. So that sort of India that we are in. Okay. So this is also very, very important, very interesting article. Just go through it. Okay. And this is also important, the role of the internet in spreading misinformation with respect to Operation Sindoor. ఏదో వీడియో వచ్చేసింది కరాచీ పోర్ట్ అయిపోయింది అని చెప్పి చూసారా మీరు? We didn't attack on Karachi port, but still there is a news video running on the internet. This is like false information. Even the PIB also gave a clarification on it. Ki don't trust the misinformation. Everything is given by the, so that there are so many press conferences happened from the Minister of External Affairs and the Army Generals. So we need to rely on that information, not this false information. And we are in the digital era when it comes to deepfake kaavachu. Deepfake is very huge nowadays. And then the misinformations like this, it disturbs, like it disturbs the internal security thing with respect to the communities. There is a community issues can happen. So whenever you are like watching these sort of things, but just cross check before trusting or before forwarding the news. Okay. So that's it for today, guys. So many things today. Just take time and read it. How many of you are like able to follow whenever I am telling something? Fine? Great. So I will be sitting there only. If you have any doubts, not just with respect to today's class, any doubt you can come to me. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. And there is one more thing with respect to this. First question. In the Karnataka new inscription came in. Just read that as well. Okay. Okay. Thank you.